Oi, gente, tudo bem com vocês? Vocês estão no canal Momentos e eu sou a Monique. No vídeo de hoje eu trago um convidado muito especial, Andrew Kenton, um amigo meu que eu já conheci há alguns anos atrás. Na verdade, a gente já namorou. Eu o conheci num aplicativo de relacionamento. Ele já veio para o Brasil e a gente vai contar um pouco e também vamos responder as perguntas do Instagram sobre a cultura americana de namoro, sobre os aplicativos, sobre um programa de reality que ele apareceu também, chamado 90 Dias para Casar. Vamos chamá-lo, como ele só fala inglês, ao mesmo tempo que eu vou perguntar para ele em inglês, na sequência eu traduzo para o português. Welcome, Andrew Kenton. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me, Monique.
Thank you. Andrew, where are you?
I am in my apartment here in beautiful Portland, Oregon. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's Mount St. Helena in the distance there. It's a beautiful city.
What's the floor you are at?
I'm on the top floor, the 22nd floor. I got a beautiful view. I'm very lucky, right here in downtown over the park. It's kind of my little bat cave, my little bachelor pad.
Perguntei para o Andrew como ele estava, ele disse que está bem, ele está morando agora em Portland, ele acabou de se mudar, o apartamento dele com uma vista incrível, ele está super animado porque ele é de Roseville, mas ele mudou para Portland porque ele está trabalhando bastante com social media. E vamos às perguntas. Let's go, get started with the questions.
Let's do it.
People want to know, how do you describe the American culture of dating?
Describe the American culture of dating. I don't know how it would differ relative to other cultures, but in the United States, there can be, a culture of a little bit of a chase, like you kind of lead on the person and kind of have them chase you and you chase them. There's a little bit of back and forth of affection there in the dating culture. I would say that I don't know if I can pinpoint anything distinct about the American dating culture. We like to give gifts of affection. I think we like to go out and do various activities together. I think we're just like most other countries when it comes to dating.
But there is something that's different.
Anything that's
beginning of the relationship, so in the beginning when you start going out with the person, actually you get to know the person. You don't start kissing, hugging, going home and doing more things.
Exactly. And exactly, you get to know somebody before you end up ultimately getting it on. And it can be a little complicated because even when you do start getting it on, unless you specifically say that you guys are together, like monogamous, and like specify you're in the relationship, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a relationship. You have to like specify it in American culture,
Like we said, are we exclusive?
Exactly. The exclusive thing. Are we exclusive? That kind of thing. That talk.
Ele disse que ele não sabe se tem uma grande diferença, mas que parece aquele jogo de caça da paquera. Uma faz algo para o outro vir caçar, o outro foge, o outro vai atrás, e aquela dança da paquera. Aí ele não sabe se existe algo diferente, mas aí eu me lembrei e perguntei para ele se no começo, diferentemente do Brasil, quando você começa a sair com as pessoas, começa a conhecer as pessoas, você não beija, você não abraça, você não vai para casa da pessoa, ou seja, não vai tão profundo. Primeiro eles conhecem a pessoa, descobrem se ela é uma pessoa ideal para namorar, para ter um relacionamento, e depois vai para o físico. Isso é uma grande diferença. What does an American man expect from a woman?
I think it varies from man to man. I think like different men have different expectations and have different desires. I think your average American man, expects affection, reciprocation of affection. What do they expect? They expect monogamy, if that's the conversation, the exclusivity, if that's the conversation that's had. Just like in any other country, relationships are difficult and communication can be hard. So the expectation for decent communication.
Ele disse que ele espera afeição, ele espera romantismo, carinho, o que todo homem espera, não importa se é americano ou se não é. Eles esperam a monogamia. Lá tem uma cultura de não traição. É muito diferente daqui do Brasil, que existe essa cultura em que homens traem, tá tudo bem. Lá nos Estados Unidos não é assim. Eles têm essa cultura de monogamia. E uma coisa que eu me esqueci de falar da outra pergunta é que você não está namorando um homem americano até que vocês, em comum acordo, digam que vocês são exclusivos. Então, isso se espera no relacionamento. A comunicação também é esperada, porque um relacionamento sem comunicação não funciona bem. How does American girl or woman like? How is to be dating an American woman?
I don't know. That's a minefield of a question for me to answer. But I don't know. There's always goods and bads to any dating experience. I think everyone is different. Each person is different. Every person is their own snowflake in a way. You know, they're unique. Dating an American woman is a little bit difficult in the way that there's a lot of chasing. You know, so it's like you have to like really pursue, and then they pursue you. It's like a little bit of a back and forth in the pursuit, and that chase sometimes leads to a bit of insecurity about whether there's real feelings there, you know?
Okay. Do you think they are more difficult? They're tough?
Probably a little bit more fickle in committing to longer relationships.
Like a game? I don't know.
Yeah, like a game. Like more interested in the short term.
Ele acha que as mulheres americanas, comparadas com as brasileiras, no caso, elas são mais difíceis, elas gostam mais dessa caça, gosta que o cara se doe mais, que ele procure mais, que ele fique no atrás, que ele demonstre mais para ela ter certeza que realmente ele quer. Então elas são mais frias, elas são mais duras, elas seguram mais a onda até ter certeza que o cara tá afim. Então elas fazem eles passarem por um período difícil, né? De provação, de mostrar que eles estão interessados. Então tem mais a busca. I have a question from one girl, and she asks, what do you think about big girls? Do you think people are interested in big girls because she's not sure about that and she wants to date an American guy? What do you think?
There are plenty of American men who would love a big girl. There are a million American men out there who would absolutely love be into her. So yeah, there's a person for everyone, and everyone has their different preferences and interests. And so I wouldn't say be disheartened. I would say you definitely could meet a person in America. You could meet a person anywhere. You know, there's hope for us all, and there's definitely a person out there for her.
Tastes are never the same.
Exactly. And there's so many people who are really into bigger women.
Tall woman, short woman, big,
Back.
tall, slim, fitness, not
Right.
in shape.
Short hair, long hair. Like the
Blonde, brunette. O que ele diz? A pergunta era se ele achava que mulheres maiores, né, plus size, tinham pessoas interessadas nos Estados Unidos. É claro que sim, porque em todo lugar tem pessoas interessadas em diferentes tipos de pessoas. Tem homens, uma comunidade que só gosta de mulheres mais cheinhas. Tem outros que gostam mais altas, mais baixas, loiras, morenas. Então, gosto, em todos os países vão existir pessoas. O que a gente tem que dizer aqui é que não existem países que limitam e tem uma cultura totalmente divergente da outra. Cada pessoa tem um gosto, cada pessoa tem um perfil que gosta mais. Então, não tem essa de que lá não tem pessoas interessadas. Pelo contrário, né, gente? Se a gente vai para os Estados Unidos, a gente vê o tanto de gente maior que tem lá. Mais alta, mais forte, plus size. Now we got nice questions.
Oh, the nice ones. Okay.
Tell us about your foreign relationships, Mr. Kenton.
My foreign relationships? Well, one of them ended me up on TV, and it was a train wreck. And obviously, if anyone saw that, they witnessed what went down there. And so, yeah, I think if anyone in your community is experienced in foreign relationships, they know how hard it can be to keep that bond strong at a distance, and to keep a strong communication, and to navigate the many challenges that people have in relationships when you're not near each other. That can be really difficult. The international relationships, they come with their own challenges, but you know, I had one that ended up on TV. Me and you, we were together for a little bit, and we had a wonderful time down in Brazil. I absolutely loved visiting you down there, and we went into the middle of the forest, and we had a cabin, and it was beautiful. It was great.
Example, tell people percentage. You don't need to say how many, but did you date more American or foreigners?
I'd say it's about 50-50 at this point in my life.
Eu perguntei para ele como foram as experiências com as estrangeiras, e ele já disse que a pior de todas apareceu na televisão e todo mundo assistiu, porque quando ele participou do 90 Day Fiancé com a francesa, eles estavam namorando, eram noivos, ele fez o visto de noivado, deu tudo errado, começou a pandemia, e a menina fez um carnaval, o programa de TV também fez um carnaval, e nesse tempo também eu e ele namoramos, e a gente teve uma ótima experiência. A gente se conheceu no aplicativo, ele veio para o Brasil, a gente ficou um tempo juntos, zero problemas. O único problema foi o meu ciúmes mesmo, porque ele estava na TV e um monte de gente atrás dele, os fãs, né? E eu não soube lidar com isso, porque eu nunca tive um tipo de relacionamento assim que estava na TV. I'm telling them, Andrew, that I got super jealous and I couldn't deal with that when you were on TV.
I don't blame
together.
To be honest, I don't blame you at all. I have absolutely no like hard feelings or anything like that, because it was a nightmare. It was a tornado, and so how can you be sucked into that tornado? You know, it's not fair for you to be sucked into that. And so I don't think you're in the wrong at all in anything.
Ele disse que ele me dá razão, que eu tinha ciúmes naquele momento, porque foi um tornado. O programa foi muito ruim para ele e eu ficava aqui assistindo com ele se sentindo mal. Foi bem trágico, assim, para nossa relação quando eles postaram o programa, porque eles gravam um tempo antes. E ele namorava a Mira. Aí depois a gente já namorava, depois de um tempo, e eles vão e postam, tipo, 5 meses depois. E a gente já namorava e não tinha o que fazer.
We were talking while I was still filming some of the final episodes there, because me and Amir had already broken up months before. And so, like, it's just funny how it works. It takes so long to film a show. You think that they follow us around with a camera. No, we have every scene planned. We're like actors. We go in, we do the scene, and the timeline isn't as it's shown on the show. So, yeah, it gave us the opportunity to actually be talking while I was still filming. Well, the show was not very nice experience, so you dodged a bullet.
Ele disse que o show foi uma experiência interessante e eu perdi essa experiência. Would you like to talk about 90 Day Fiancé or you're not?
Yeah, I can totally talk about that. It'd be no problem.
Going on now after 1 year, how do you feel now? Are they still giving you trouble?
Oh no, like I still get trouble sometimes from like the fan base. Like somebody will watch it and then they get all upset and then they'll like send me some harassment or something like that. But for the most part, a lot of it has died down. I'm old news. Like I'm like such a old insignificant character in the pantheon of 90 Day Fiancé, but I don't know. Life is good. Like I'm very happy to be over all of that. Like I got my beautiful apartment. I'm moving forward in life, and things are going in a great direction.
I'm super happy you are over it, because at that moment it was really bad for you, and I really cared about it. And I was like, I can't do anything. I'm just here watching you suffering all the time.
Oh man, and you were so nice. You were very nice, and I'm very grateful for everything that you were there for me for, you know, and you were really nice about it all. So I mean, I can only say how grateful I am for the moments you spent with me in that horrible tornado.
Yeah, thank you. You too. You're nice. Do you think American guys leave their own country to, I don't know, to move and live with the foreign wives or girlfriends?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I totally would. There's a lot of people who would totally move to a different country and be down for that. There's a lot who would not too, you know. So it just depends on the person.
Yeah, but most of them, okay, average American, they don't even have a passport.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the statistics, but it's true. You would. I think you might find that many Americans might be less traveled than other people, you know, than other people from other countries. And so they might not know about your culture, or they might not know about like your food or your customs or your anything, you know. And so you gotta be patient, and you gotta educate. If you're gonna date an American man, be very patient and educate them, and you know, just kind of introduce them to your ways. And I know myself and many other men would be totally down to change countries. That was the question.
Yeah.
To change countries if the heart led them to do so.
Perguntei para ele se os americanos eles se mudariam dos Estados Unidos para viver com suas esposas em outros países. Ele é super internacional, esse menino já morou em vários lugares, estudou várias faculdades. Ele iria, com certeza, conhece um monte de país. Agora, um americano médio, um americano comum, muitas vezes nem passaporte eles têm. E eles não sabem nada sobre o Brasil, não sabem nada sobre nenhum lugar. Acho que eles vão falar da Amazônia. Tem que ter paciência. Se eles se sentirem apaixonados por uma estrangeira, lógico que eles podem se mudar. Mas eles têm essa falta de conhecimento dos outros países e pouco interesse em se mudar, porque os Estados Unidos é enorme, tem tanta coisa, então eles não querem sair de lá. Tem que ter um motivo bem grande.
Instagram.
What dating apps gorgeous American guys like you are using at the moment?
I've never used Tinder, but a app that I have used is Bumble. I've used Bumble, and I'm not on it anymore, but I found that to be relatively good. And you had a good suggestion for a site that I should maybe check out, you know? The Inner Circle. Yeah. And so, yeah, I'm not on any dating websites right now, but I was on Bumble. So if I was to recommend one, I'd say Bumble.
And the one we met, international.
Oh. I don't know if I would recommend that one to people. I mean, you're kind of a rare gem. You're a rarity on the site. So like you're not the average person.
And you either. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not.
We both kind of stumbled upon the realest person on the site.
We met and we left right away. Now let's go out of that.
Yeah, it wasn't very long on there. So like, yeah, that site, I wouldn't recommend it to people, but no. I mean, there are real people on there. So you can find some real people. You just have to like dive through a briar patch of scammers, you know?
Eu perguntei para ele quais aplicativos caras gatos como ele estão. E ele disse que o Bumble ele esteve até um tempo atrás. Ele também sabe do The Inner Circle, que eu sempre falo. E nós nos conhecemos no International Cupid, que é o mesmo que o Brasil Cupid e tal. Só que o que ele disse que ele não sugere esse. Por quê? Porque lá tá cheio de golpistas, scammers all around. E além do que, todos os países misturados. Então, assim, todo mundo pode mandar mensagem. O International Cupid, vez ou outra, você pode dar a sorte de se encontrar. Igual eu disse para ele, eu encontrei ele, ele me encontrou e a gente já saiu de lá. Eu indico o Inner Circle, ele indica o Bumble, mas ele não está em nenhum agora, viu, gente? Se vocês quiserem falar com ele, vão lá no Instagram dele e segue ele lá. I told them if they want to talk to you, you're not on the dating app. They need to go to your Instagram and subscribe.
You gotta follow me. That's the only way. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Tell me you subscribed first before I let you in. That.
And it seems some people are interested in your look here. Have you ever had short hair?
I have, yes. I have had short hair most of my life, but about 6 years ago, I started growing it long, and I haven't gone back. I love it long. Long is my style, but I was sitting on a park bench the other day, and someone confused me as a homeless man. So I'm gonna have to get a little bit of a haircut, maybe up to the shoulder, you know.
Oh my gosh. Ok, uma pessoa perguntou se ele já teve cabelo curto. E ele disse que já, faz uns 6 anos que ele tá com cabelo longo. Até quando eu conheci ele, ele tava com cabelo castanho, agora ele fez luzes. Mas ele gosta do cabelo comprido, mas ele disse que as pessoas já estão se incomodando e acharam que era um mendigo na rua, uma pessoa sem teto. E aí ele vai cortar, vai dar um jeito aí. What are the 2 biggest lessons you have learned with your 2 last relationships?
The biggest lessons? Let's see. Both of them were from International Cupid, so
International Cupid.
Don't go on a reality TV show. I learned that one. Also, be patient with yourself and others. It's good to just be patient and try to operate from a place of patience.
Actually, you're right. Yeah. We have to be more patient and take time to get to know the real person. The first moment, people use a mask. People try to pretend they are something that sometimes they're not.
Exactly. I mean, some people hold that mask for a long time. So give yourself at least 2 months, but let them pull the mask down a little bit, you know? And you get to see a person. I learned, and now I can be better in the future because I've learned from those experiences.
Yeah. And everything I'm saying is not about me. It's about the ex.
Oh, yes. No, it's not about you. No, I'm talking about the individual I went on the show with. Okay. We had a wonderful time. You almost killed me in a car crash. It's okay, though, you know? Like, I'm forgetting all about that.
I saved you.
You saved me from a car crash.
I wouldn't kill you. I saved you.
You saved me. Your intention was to save me, and you did, and I'm very grateful. I was just eating my sugar cane as my life was in danger.
O que ele disse, eu perguntei para ele o que ele aprendeu, as 2 grandes lições que ele aprendeu nos últimos 2 relacionamentos. Foi eu e foi com a francesa, né? E, na verdade, comigo, a gente passou um tempo super bom, a gente não teve tempo ruim, a gente não teve problemas. Ele até riu agora que eu quase matei ele no acidente de carro, mas, na verdade, eu salvei ele de um acidente de carro. Mas tudo bem. Mas o que a gente estava falando do outro relacionamento é que é ir devagar, ter paciência, esperar as pessoas tirarem a máscara. Porque no começo do relacionamento, todo mundo é muito legal, todo mundo finge ser outra pessoa, finge ser mais ambiciosa, finge ser mais paciente, finge ser mais tolerante, finge ser mais amorosa. E no final, o que a gente viu é que a pessoa só queria ir para o programa de TV. E a outra coisa que ele aprendeu é não entre no programa de TV, porque isso arruina o noivado, né? Que foi o que aconteceu. What do you consider a weak character in a person, in a relationship?
The inability to communicate. I think the inability to communicate your problems or what your needs are, and do that in a healthy way and not in an angry way or not in a toxic way or an accusatory way. To communicate, you know, with another person in a very happy and healthy way, I think is sometimes a weakness for people. You know, it goes back to that patience and being able to communicate in a patient manner. And I think that's very important. A lot of people don't have that sometimes.
Emotional intelligence, people say.
Exactly. I could use a course or two on emotional intelligence, but I do know that that is a weakness that a lot of people have, and it's important. It's important.
For example, you like dating foreigners, and there is a problem because the language is different. It's
Yes.
one biggest part of communication is the language.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think about that?
It goes back to patience, you know. Like English is not your first language, so when you learn English words, you might learn them in a way that's different than I know them. So when you use even an English word, you might use it in a different way than I'm familiar with. And so even though you're using my language, I still have to be patient and try to figure out what you're trying to get to or what the meaning is. And that patience is very important, and not to assume what you're saying or assume what you're trying to do, but to be patient and ask questions and to clarify. That's important.
Yes, we talked about that many times while we were together, because I can speak English, but sometimes I don't know how to use the words. For me, the meaning, it's very smooth, and for you, like rush and say, "Oh, Monique, that's rude. What do you say?"
Oh, exactly. Sometimes you might not even know that, oh, that's not a word that we would use or something like that, but you would never know because you learned it in that way, kind of thing. Your English is very good, by the way. You speak it very well. So you have very few of these incidences. But as somebody who is trying to learn English, it's very, especially with English, we're such a bad language because we have many things that mean different things. So like if you say the word bear, it could mean to bear something. It could mean the animal bear. It could mean, it could mean a lot of different, to bear a child. It could mean a lot of different things. So you have to be patient with a person. And that's a weakness. Some people are not patient.
Uma coisa, eu perguntei pra ele qual que é a fraqueza, né, numa pessoa, num relacionamento, no ponto de vista dele. É a falta de comunicação, não ter paciência para se comunicar, se expressar. E aí eu disse para ele que gosta de estrangeiras, a gente não fala primeiro idioma o inglês, o que dá para misunderstanding, né? Você entende errado e a pessoa, por exemplo, eu falava alguma coisa que para mim era suave, não era grosseiro. Aí ele falava, realmente você quer dizer isso? Porque isso é grosseiro, falando em inglês. Então a gente tinha essas miscommunication, tipo, perde o sentido, mas daí a gente se resolvia, porque ele é super paciente mesmo, ele é uma pessoa, assim, incrível. Me ensinou bastante inglês, o inglês dele é perfeito. What do you think about the scammers?
What do I think about the scammers? I'm not a big fan of them, and they're out there in abundance, and you have to watch out. Monique is here to teach you about them so that you do not fall into their traps. So make sure you're liking, subscribing, and making sure that you're following so that she can teach you how to avoid them. I've fallen into their traps before. Don't be like me. Don't be like this idiot. Learn from other people's mistakes. And don't be scammed.
What kind of scamming? I remember one from Venezuela or Cuba. You were talking and she was asking you for money.
Oh, man. When I was on the site, yeah, the Cubans were always asking for money. And you can't blame them, but it's true. It's very true. Certain countries had a lot of scammers on that website. Unfortunately, Cuba happened to be one of them for that particular website. And also, I would say from the show, I felt kind of scammed my ex before you, and it was a little bit of a scammer. So, so you have to watch out for scammers,
Eu perguntei o que ele achava dos golpistas, ele disse que ele não é fã de nenhum golpista, ele já caiu em alguns golpes. Até quando a gente se conheceu, ele conversava com umas cubanas, Venezuela, que só pediam dinheiro para ele, que era golpe, óbvio. Ele disse que até que a ex dele, a francesa, é um tipo de golpista, sim, porque ela tirou o que ela podia dele, fingiu um monte de coisa e no final não era nada daquilo. Eu vou agradecer a presença dele, foi ótimo. Se vocês quiserem a participação dele mais vezes, ele super tá afim de participar. Sigam ele lá no Instagram dele. Ele nos Estados Unidos é muito conhecido porque esse programa que ele participou, o reality, o 90 Day Fiancé, explode nos Estados Unidos, todo mundo assiste. Vão lá no Instagram conhecer um pouco da vida dele. Andrew, thank you very much for being here. We can talk many other times.
Yes.
Daniel on Instagram lives because it's always a pleasure. I told them to follow you on Instagram to find out who you are, what do you do. I told them if they are interested and go and watch that season you were on 90 Day Fiancé to understand a little what we were talking about, because some people haven't watched it, so they can go and have a look.
Those are smart people. Those are people who use their times wisely. You know, your audience is very well educated.
Ele disse para vocês que para não cair no golpe, para se inscrever no meu canal, assistir tudo que a gente está falando, porque eu, como expert, não vou deixar vocês caírem no golpe. E ele disse que vocês não assistiram 90 Dias para Casar, vocês são espertas, porque aquele seriado é uma coisa de maluco. Thank you very much.
I just want to thank you for having me. Really, it's been absolutely wonderful. And it's been a great conversation. Your audience has really good questions. So thank you again, Monique. Thank you again.
Thank you. See you. E, pessoal, se inscreva nesse canal, deixe seus comentários, outras perguntas. Se quiser escrever em inglês, depois ele vem aqui e responde. Também pode mandar direct lá para ele no Instagram, que ele também responde. Um beijo enorme para vocês e até o próximo vídeo.